Hello students, we shall look at a very important topic now for mechanical engineers. There is something called thermal energy storage. So thermal energy storage, as we discussed, two types. One is sensible heat storage and second is latent heat storage. So primary energy source like hydropower, gas, coal and nuclear fuels transform directly into electricity as a power source for industrial and household applications. You have got power plants which are nuclear, thermal, gas, hydro. So they produce electricity for industrial as well as household application. In principle, electricity generation has to be balanced with the exact time of consumption to satisfy the fluctuating demand at the lowest possible cost. So as I was telling, whenever we are producing electricity, so electricity producing, for example, coal power plant and nuclear power plant, so they are continuously running and they are basically base load plants. But the electricity demand of the industry or house, it keeps on changing. That is why there is a need for storage, because when it is generating and what time it is we are consuming, there may be some changes. Like I gave example of just simple solar water heater in our house. We require hot water early in the morning, say from 7 to 9, but the solar water heater starts heating the water only after 9, so from 10 to 3. So generation time is different, but utilization time or consumption time is different. So because there is a unbalance here, different timings are there, fluctuations are there, we require energy storage. The utility companies generate electricity using different types of primary energy sources to offset the peak. So power plants, normally there are two types of plants. One we call as a base load plant, another is the peak load plant. So base load plants will be running 24/7, but the peak load plants will be running only during the peak time when it is required. Like your DG set, you have seen generators in the factories and even in shops. Whenever electricity is not there, then only they'll run for certain peak time, then they'll shut it off. So in modern society, in the midday and late evening, the peak electricity demand is there. See, building a power plant is a very expensive thing, almost 5 crores per megawatt. Okay, so we are short of resources, so we are planning for this storage. Now you can see the definition of thermal storage. Like one is charging cycle, storing cycle, and discharging cycle. Okay, so this storage can not be only for heat but can also be for cold. In HVAC application, I have seen this in dairy, milk dairies. No? So you can see three sketches here. So there is one is charging, second is storing, and third is discharging. So thermal storage for HVAC, that is heating, ventilation and air conditioning applications. Storage at various temperatures, which can be associated with heating or cooling. So types of thermal storage systems. There are cold storage, fabric or slab energy storage, solar storage, packed rock beds, low temperature CO2 storage system, thermochemical energy storage, sensible heat and latent heat storage. So cold storage you have seen, like big plants are there where they store the agriculture produce like jaggery, raisins, fruits, vegetables, flowers. They store in cold storage for long period of time, months together they store. And there is something of fabric and slab storage. uh, I can give one simple example. Your building slab is then a roof that stores lot of heat energy, and then in the night or evening and night you can see that slab is releasing heat. Though it is not intentionally done, but just I am giving an example. That is why in the you can see in the evening hours or in the night hours when the sun is not there, but still you feel the heat. Air is hot because the slab is releasing, the concrete slab is releasing the energy. Then there is a solar storage. We have discussed about solar pond. We have got a special video on solar pond. You can see where large amount of heat is stored in the form of hot water. Then there is a packed bed storage. Like a packed rock bed utilizes the available thermal energy by means of circulating through a packed rock bed to add heat or remove heat from the system. So rock means the stones, big stones and pebbles. Some places even bricks are used for storing energy. Then for low temperature CO2 gas that is stored because its boiling point is very low. And earlier CO, as you know, CO2 was used as a refrigerant also. Then comes the thermochemical storage like alcohols and ketones. And then sensible heat storage which are used for heat addition or removal with a change in temperature. It is called sensible heat because you can sense the temperature change, like solar pond. So solar pond is very simple. I can explain. It's a shallow pond, not a very deep pond. What we do, if it is a natural pond, then the sunlight will heat up the water, and as you know, anything like air or any fluid, air or water, when it gets heated up, it density reduces, it comes to the top. So the natural convection takes place. So, and the entire energy of solar energy is dispersed in the water, and when it comes to the top, then this top air, atmospheric ambient air, will take away the heat. So there is no much gain. Now what is the idea? Whatever solar energy, heat energy is coming, we want to heat the water, but that water should not come up to the top and release its heat to the air. So to reduce this convection of hot water to the top, we will mix lot of salt, sodium chloride, in the bottom zone. The lower zone, we will put lot of salt. Now what happens? The solar energy is falling. It is heating up the water. The bottom water gets heated up. But because we have added salt, that is brine, it becomes a brine solution. Then the heat is trapped in the bottom layer only, and that layer cannot come on the top. So now the heat is trapped and the bottom layer of the solar pond becomes hot. So actually this diagram is slightly wrong. The right side brine, what is shown top, it is not on the top, it is to be taken from the bottom. So the heat energy is extracted from the bottom of the solar pond, and that is used for some heating applications or even low temperature power generation by Rankine cycle. Now comes to latent heat storage. In latent heat storage, there are something called PCMs, that is phase change materials. Like a simple example I can give you: light a candle. What happens? Candle is solid. Okay, when you light the candle, then it melts, so it changes into liquid. So this is one example of phase change material. Okay. So when a material melts or vaporizes, it absorbs heat. When it changes into a solid or to a liquid, it releases this heat. So there is absorption for phase change, and there is again there is a release of heat. There is a phase change. Even water, you can see when water absorbs heat. When water absorbs heat, it becomes vapor, and when the vapor releases heat, it becomes water. Even water, if you take away heat from water, it gets converted into ice. So this is all phase change. So typical phase change materials are water, ice, salt hydrates, and certain polymers. So there are three types. One is water, second is salt hydrates, and third is certain polymers. Polymers like plastic material. Okay. So these are used for phase change, and these store the thermal energy. So why store energy actually? As I was telling, solar energy is a time dependent energy source, and the load does not match the available energy, and cost is a consideration because to avoid peak use, and you can store for short term as well as long term storage. Even your solar water heater, you have got a storage tank insulated. So this was all about thermal energy storage, and you can see this your solar water heater also, where the heat solar heat is uh, obtained during the sunshine hours, and the water is stored in the tank, so that we use the water when we need it, not when the sun is shining. And there is something called storage wall also. I gave an example of your roof slab. Okay, there is something called Trombe wall. I think we'll discuss that. This wall you can see now. This is a storage wall actually, known as TROMB, Trombe wall. So it is a built. This wall is built purposely. Extra wall is built. Okay, there is a window you can see here, and there is a wall. So what happens? This wall, as I was talking about the slab, this wall stores heat. So when the sunlight is falling, the sunlight will warm up this entire wall during the daytime. Now in the night you require heat. Okay. So from where you are going to get the heat? This hot warm wall, na, that will give away the heat to the room, and this transfer of heat takes place by means of air. It takes by means of our own air only, and there is no pumping of air required. Due to natural convective currents only, this warm air is supplied to the room. So this is how this storage wall. I think it's not very popular in India, but some other Western country it is very popular, because there you don't have this sun most of the time. So they store energy using this Trombe wall. Okay, this glazing means glass. Glazing means this glass. So one thing you have to understand, like we have discussed in solar flat plate collector also, that we want the solar energy to come and heat up the water, but we don't want the solar energy to get reflected back or attenuated, or means its heat energy should not be lost. So we have this wherever we provide this glass acts like a one-way wall. It only allows the heat to come in but does not get reflected. That is why you find the glazing or glass. So solar heat energy comes, it heats up this wall. Okay, and this room, you can see right side there is room. This air comes, heats up and comes inside from the top. So this is the Trombe wall or storage wall. And finally, the benefits of thermal energy storage. So increased generation capacity. So instead of big plants, we can have small plants. Then better operation of co-generation plants. Co-generation, I told you regarding sugar plants, sugar industries. And shift energy purchase to low cost periods. So even energy prices are not fixed. I don't know whether you are aware. Energy prices are changing on a daily basis now. So we can purchase the energy during the low cost periods. Like our petrol prices are changing, similarly the uh, electricity prices are also changing.